It was a big weekend in Ann Arbor for Michigan hockey, and so I'm honored to join in head coach Red Berenson, who also hit a big milestone over the weekend. And Coach, before we get into that, I just wanted to thank you so much for your time today.
Well, I'm glad to be on. It was a good weekend, and everything is positive around here right now, and we're we're looking forward to next weekend. But there's still a lot of buzz about getting past Minnesota here the last weekend, and 2 exciting games, by the way.
Right, and as if sweeping Minnesota wasn't enough, you earned your 800th win as head coach. So I want to take you back to Saturday night in the locker room when your guys were hailing to the victors in your honor. Personalize what that 800th win means to you.
Well, it's just a number. I can tell you the hard part of all this is all the losses. That nobody talks about the losses, but there are probably close to 400 losses in there that are really coach killers. And I just feel fortunate. I've been around long enough. I've been lucky to be at Michigan. We've had great players. I've had a great coaching staff supporting our program and recruiting the players. We've had great captains and leadership. And so I've just been fortunate to be in the right place at the right time.
Well, all those accolades you mentioned, you basically achieved yourself. You were an All-American player, a former captain of the Wolverines, and now head coach for 31 seasons. So what does Michigan really mean to you?
Well, it changed my life as a youngster when I came to Michigan, and I had no idea what to expect. I just thought it was the best thing I ever did, and I stayed and graduated from the business school and then came back and got my MBA in the summers. So I really believed in education. I believed in life after hockey, and I was able to live the dream, and I want our players to be able to have that same experience and have something to fall back on. So to me, it was important, and it still is.
Well, you mentioned it, life after hockey. You've had the opportunity to shape so many young men's lives after coaching for 31 years at Michigan. So what is it like when you flip on the channel and the NHL game comes on and you see a lot of your Michigan alum having so much success at a high level? What is it like to know that you played a pivotal part in their young development?
Well, I'm not surprised to see them succeed. You know, they had success here if they get to play at the next level. And I can tell you each one of them are playing if they're playing pro hockey. On the flip side, it's just as important to me that they've become good citizens and have meaningful careers. So I'm just as proud of Harold Schock, who's an orthopedic surgeon in Green Bay, or Chris Fox, who's a neurosurgeon right now in San Diego, and so on and so forth. We've got players all over the country, very successful and good people. And so I love to see them live their dream as players, but obviously everybody's not going to have that opportunity. And for those that don't, they've gone on to do well too. So, and it's not because of me, it's because of Michigan, and I'm just trying to steer them in the right direction.
Such a humble guy. You would never take any of the credit, but you've accomplished so much in your career. Is there one career goal that you have yet to reach as a coach? And if so, what is that? No, I don't think so. I mean, really, I've been really lucky. We've had a lot of fun and we've worked hard, and that's been my philosophy, is work hard and have fun, and I want our team to do the same thing. The hard work comes first, obviously, and then the fun if you have success. So this weekend we worked hard and we had fun. Well, you had fun, and you're seemingly hitting your stride at the perfect moment, specifically with players like Zach Hyman, who now has 26 points on the season, and Dylan Larkin, one of 4 players to return back from the World Juniors. What does their development mean to this season and to the impact of this team so far at this point and entering into the heart of the season?
Well, Zach Hyman is a senior, and he's one of our captains, and he has earned that each year. And things didn't come easy for Zach, and he was not an impact freshman or sophomore, but his game continued to grow in his junior year, and now he's one of our top players and one of our top leaders and one of our top students. So good for him. On the other hand, Dylan Larkin, who plays center with Zach and has all year, came in and was an impact freshman and a first-round draft pick with the Red Wings and high expectations. And Dylan has lived up to that every day. And so it's been fun to watch each one of them, the young freshman and the veteran senior, on the same line.
Well, you're good at developing players, much like you're good at developing programs. When you took over this Michigan program in '84, it was a struggling program. You mentioned your vision was to turn Michigan hockey into a college dynasty. How far away would you say this Michigan program is today from the envisionment you had earlier?
Well, I don't think we're there. We've had moments where I thought we might get there, but college hockey is so competitive. It's not just the big schools that have the advantage. We've seen a lot of smaller schools win NCAA championships. We've seen new programs take up Division I hockey, and I think it's better than it's ever been. But we just want to keep Michigan on the cusp of and having a chance of winning a national championship every year. That's easy to say, it's hard to do, but that's our challenge every year.
Well, it's easy to say, hard to do. You've done it twice, in '96 and '98, so you do know what it takes to get there and the team that it requires to make it to that point in the season. How far away is this Michigan team from making to that point, given the spark of hope with a sweep over Minnesota? Things are looking pretty good right now.
Well, you never know. That's true. I mean, if you get the right chemistry and the right leadership and you get the right bounces, I think any team that, particularly in the Big Ten, if we can compete well in the Big Ten in the second half of the year, we could move into the tournament. There was a stretch where we were in the tournament, not automatically, but it seemed like it for 21 or 22 years. And now we haven't been in the tournament in recent times, and I think our team realizes how hard it is to get there. Well, if we get there, then you have a chance, and if you have a chance, then this team could move on in the tournament. So it's a long ways away, but it's definitely doable, and we'll take it weekend by weekend.
All right. Well, I have one last little bit off-the-wall question for you. Your first real name is Gordon, as some may or may not know. And given my hair color, I'm intrigued where the nickname Red actually comes from, Coach.
Well, given my hair color right now, you never know. But I was a redhead. I was a freckled-faced redhead as a kid, and I didn't like it. But my friends started calling me Red. And my dad was a redhead, and his nickname was Red, and my mom was a redhead. My sisters were redheads, so it's in the family, but you never know it now. It's changed color over the years. But so anyway, that was my nickname from having red hair. I'll tell you something off color was when I went to Montreal, when I graduated from Michigan, and I was first in the Montreal locker room, and the reporters asked me the same question. And now I had a short haircut like I have now, but I was definitely a redhead. And they said, why do they call you Red? And I looked at them sarcastically, and I said, well, because I'm a communist. And very seriously. And they all started writing on their notepads like, boy, it must be true. I never said that again.
That one didn't go over quite well. We have a lot in common, actually, because my nickname used to be Red, but usually it was when I was getting in trouble with my father, who was the main one that called me Red. But actually, Lisa Rosen and Mark LaRosen used to call me Red back in my days playing Michigan volleyball, Coach.
Well, how about that? Well, welcome to the club.
All right. Well, head coach Red Berenson continues his coaching legacy against the Buckeyes this weekend. Coach, congratulations on reaching your 800 win mark. Thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Well, good. Thanks for having me.